Mark Kimmitt is former Assistant Secretary for Political Military Affairs of the US State Department. He joins us now from Washington, D.C. Mark, thank you so much for joining us. What do you think Donald Trump's calculus is with regards to Iran and what prism he's looking it through?
Well, I think he is certainly hoping that this organic demonstrations, these organic protests, will resolve themselves internally between the government and the protesters. But I also think he is reluctantly, but nonetheless determined that if the killing continues by the security forces of the protesters, that he seems to be very determined to act.
Act in what way? Would he actually militarily attack Iran?
Well, I don't think an attack would be in what one could consider a regime change operation. It certainly wouldn't be a ground attack. I don't think it would resemble what happened in the 10-day war in June. I think there might be operations against security force leaders, such as the head of the Basij and the head of the Iranian Revolutionary Guards Corps, very similar to what we did to Soleimani in 2020. I think the people generally agree that the security forces are acting in a heavy-handed manner, killing thousands, perhaps, of people. They don't necessarily seem to have qualms with the administration or the regime at this point. So I think the right target would be to go against the security forces.
Well, I guess that lends a question here, really. The thing is, if there was an attack, let's say, it could actually, ironically, also embolden the regime there, the Iranian leadership.
Well, it certainly could, but I can't see how they would be far more emboldened than they are already now. When you're killing perhaps thousands of your own people, how much more emboldening could that be? Killing tens of thousands? I think at that point, the country would be in flames if they were emboldened, as you would describe.
Yeah, if we do see a lack of any action by the U.S., could the authorities in Tehran even initiate hostilities themselves and call it a preemptive strike, as some have been talking about? And what would that mean?
Well, if you're talking about preemptive strike on U.S. assets in the region, I think it's important to remember that the regime may be unwise, but they're not suicidal. The fact is, if they started attacking American assets in the Arabian Gulf or on the ground in the countries surrounding Iran, that would deserve a response unlike anything the Iranians have seen thus far.
Mark, when you look at it, and the longer we see this sort of chaos, I suppose, in Iran, how is it going to be playing out regionally?
Well, I think there's a great concern about within the region. Obviously, they don't want any spillover effects. There are sympathetic elements inside the region, for example, and in particular inside of Iraq. But this notion that the region would be on fire as we continue to hear from the regime, I don't think that that's the case. I'm not sure that any of the countries, particularly the Sunni countries, would come to the support of Iran. Most of the Iranian proxies have already been significantly attrited, if not almost completely defeated, fighting in Iran, fighting against Israel over the last few years. So I'm not sure where the great fire in the region would come from or what the purpose would be.
Well, absolutely. And, with what you say there as well, it's a risk, though, nonetheless. We have that perhaps as a deterrent to American action, perhaps.
Well, I think that would come outside of Iran and possibly inside of Iraq, although inside of Iraq, other than going against the diplomatic facilities, I don't know what would be attacked. But that is a risk. And, of course, if that risk proves out, obviously there will be a response from the United States and, candidly, probably coalition allies as well.
Mark, thank you so much for joining us. Mark Kimmitt, there, former Assistant Secretary for Political Military Affairs of the US State Department.
Don't miss out and get the full picture. Subscribe to Al Jazeera for reliable news and expert insights. Like, share, stay ahead.